The next generation of giant ships has hit our shores, and the new supersized ships need jumbo ports and facilities. It's changing Australia's infrastructure needs as warehouses get bigger and competition between ports hots up to attract the lucrative trade. Emily Stewart has our story.
The Great Panama Canal connects the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific and is a key gateway for international maritime trade. The 80-kilometre canal is currently being expanded to more than double its capacity, opening the way for the launch of the next generation of big ships.
This will have an important effect on the economy, not just that we are going to have a plant with greater transport capacity for millions of tonnes more, it will allow clients to take advantage of larger vessels.
And it's not just bigger ships. A new generation of aircraft, such as the Airbus A380 and Boeing 787 Dreamliner, is taking to the skies.
It's about the efficiency of the movement of air and sea freight. It's a trend that's going to continue, and it's one that we need to be putting in place the capacity so that we can deal with it over time.
Dr David Rees from Jones Lang LaSelle says the whole supply chain is on board the move to bigger carriers.
It's very difficult to raise prices if you're running a supermarket, but you can cut costs. And that really filters all the way down through the supply pipeline, through to the warehouse, and all the way through up the supply pipeline back to Asia, where the goods may be manufactured.
And some believe this is leading to higher land prices surrounding transport hubs to build these bigger warehouses, and is creating greater competition between ports.
You see, if you've got a big ship and you've got a big warehouse, you want to make sure that that's located where you've got a big population. And that means that you tend to get increasing agglomeration around places like Sydney and to a lesser extent Melbourne, because that's the biggest urbanised population in Australia.
Every port in Australia is moving to upgrade its facilities, either by channel deepening or by developing the land nearby to increase capacity and improve road and rail links. One of these is the Port of Melbourne. In 2008, it was dredged to allow for bigger ships, and last week the state government announced plans to develop a third container terminal.
We will have empty container facilities on the land adjacent to Webb Dock, which will significantly reduce the truck shuttles that are needed to service that container port.
Industry group Infrastructure Partnerships Australia says more investment is needed to keep up with greater capacity.
What we need in Australia is to move to a situation of joined-up planning between federal and state governments, where we're looking at future demand, where we're looking at the requirements across the entire network. We need to remember that Australia's air and seaports are the last connection in terms of the interface with the global economy.
Dr Rees says the future of freight will include more vertical integration.
I think at the moment the integration between shipping companies and warehouse owners is probably still in its infancy. It's probably still quite embryonic, but it would seem that there's certainly commercial rationale for that process to accelerate.
But for now, governments and industry are facing a big challenge just to keep up with these supersized carriers.